Hello, and welcome to Alienate UK with your hosts, Andy and Nicole. Super Chat and Super Stickers are now active.
Let's go.
Hello, welcome to this evening's, tonight's, this morning's show. We have a full house. Myself, Nicole, Brandon, Dawn, and Lewis. Because he had to shoot off on Wednesday, he said about coming back on, so it's like get him on the earliest possibility. Brandon was the guy that introduced us, so here we are. But we're going to get Lewis to come on his own and talk about his knowledge in accounts and all that as well. So you'll be seeing him again. That's if he wants to come on his own. I'm just presuming he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. So we're going to do this a little bit different. So this is going out to everybody. So it's all public. But you'll notice in the chat, it is for members only. So it's for both sides, which I think is more than fair. So, and everyone agreed with it. So that's it. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah. Where do we start?
Well, you said you had something to share with us.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
you told us without telling us.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and tell you with telling you. So last weekend, I went and met up with George Mitrovic in London. By the way, he is fine now. He's back on his way home to Australia. He was stopping in Dubai, 13-hour gap, and then flying on because he's not been too well. He's been in and out of hospital while he's been in the UK. So, yeah, he's doing well. Anyway, so last Saturday, I went and met him in London, did a podcast from his hotel room, so on and so on, come back. Anyway, I didn't get back till it was about 9 p.m. Saturday night. So I thought, I've been out all day, I'll chill, watch TV and what have you. Normally I'd just come in and go straight to bed, but it was, like I said, it was quite late. So there's me, Becky and Bruno. Bruno's the dog, by the way. And we just sat on the sofa, just in case someone thought some weird stuff going on. So we just sat there watching crappy Saturday night TV. So the wall where the sofa is, behind that wall is a hallway. And then directly behind that, we've got two front doors, obviously, that go straight outside. Now, the first front door, unless it's locked, you can walk in and out. You just pull the handle down, walk either side. The second door is, I call it the self-locking. To get in, you have to have a key to open it. As soon as you pull the door and it clicks, whether you pull the handle up or down, you can't get in without a key unless you smash it in. So, anyway, so we heard. So usually when we put the bins out, we'll open the middle door and push the handle up so the locks come out but hit the frame, so it doesn't. So if the wind blows it and it shuts, we don't get locked out because we're not taking our keys out every time we go or nip to the car. Do you know what I mean? Just something little. Not keep taking the keys to get in and out. So we sat there watching TV, and we heard the although the middle door. See, I was the last one in as well, so I know it was shut. because I come in, shut it, push the handle up, so the locks come down. So all down one side, it locks down. And we heard the same noise, but it's slightly different. So when you push it up, it makes a more dense noise than when you push it down, because the locks are coming out, and the other one, the locks are going in. So it's like someone pulled the handle up, and the locks had come down. So we're waiting for someone to come in. Nothing. Didn't hear jangling the keys. Nothing like that. We've no carpet on the stairs, just wooden stairs, so you can hear people going up and downstairs. Even if they're barefoot, you can hear them. Bruno started barking, and we waited about 30 seconds, and we're just looking at that. Who is it? So I went to the door to have a look. The middle door had been opened, and the handle pushed up, and the locks were on the outside, so the door wouldn't shut. Now, Becky went upstairs and checked on the kids. So 2 boys, they share a room. They're both on the computers, like Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. Olivia's in her room watching TV or playing Xbox or something. So it wasn't her. Her other son, who was on his way over, she rang him to see if he'd been to drop something off and then gone back out again. And he's like, no, I'm like 10, 15 minutes away. I've not been home yet. Now, you cannot get in the house, like I said, without the key. And you hear the key going in the door. It's like, we've been locked out. I've not, luckily, but there's other people in the house that have been locked out, and they've had to go around climbing and all that sort of stuff. So there's no way of getting in. So we did the old doorbell as well. That goes off. I check it, and it's gone off at the exact time that we had the door go, 11:32. So I check that, and I've set it so it records for 20 seconds. Still, then it picks up anyone walking past, it coming in and out. So you get a decent amount of footage on it, enough to see if there's anything going on. You hear a bit of static at the beginning when the sound cuts off. About 2-3 seconds. Well, this is a weird bit. Every other video where the sound continues right the way through the video. Only on this one, it like cuts dead, and it's like dead silent. Absolutely nothing. And I've put it on Facebook. Watched it at least 100 times. Zoomed in, downloaded it just to see if there's any little thing that I've missed or I can't see, or there's a sound that it's picked up. Nothing. There's a light, looks like a light shooting past, but because it goes on to night vision, once it goes dark, it's automatic. I think that's just a bug or a fly or something going past. So that's it. And we're like, who was it? What was it? How? So I went outside, I looked, went up and down, walked around the cars. I'm probably out there for about 2-3 minutes having a look around, see if there's anyone knocking about. Nothing.
Wow.
So I'll come back in, close the door, lock it. So I said that was about 11:30. Went to bed probably about 1 o'clock. So lay in bed. And when you're like half asleep, you feel like you're going to sleep and then you wake up. Mm-hmm. It was one of them. And I thought Becky had her elbow in my back. I'm like, shift your arm. She goes, why? Went, your elbow's right in my back. She went, it's not me. She was facing the other way. She was playing a game on her phone. So I turn around and I'm like, what that? It's me watch. Right? So I've got an iWatch. I leave it on to track because I've got high blood pressure. So I leave it on to do the tracking and my sleep and all that kind of stuff. I normally charge it when I do a stream or when I'm having a shower or a bath. It charges, the charge pretty quick. So this is a strap that I had on it. Yeah. I'll show you. So sometimes you wake up and you just feel agitated and you've got whatever you've got on, you've got to take it off. You're just not comfortable. I've done that 2 times since having this one. And I always put it on the unit at the side or stick it on charge. I won't just leave it on the bed in case I break it because it ain't cheap. So this is how you take it off. So you've got to undo that, pull that right out, and then slide your hand out. So it's like it's stretched, elasticated. I wouldn't do that and then just throw it behind me. Even if I'm half asleep, I'd just stick it on the unit. And that happened the same night. But can't get it back on now. When I had a Fitbit, this is going back a couple of years. We was doing an investigation at a cemetery in Northampton. So it's a very similar type of undoing, like the mechanism to take it off and put it back on. The Fitbit was the same. As I'm filming, the Fitbit come on the. It's the same as a normal Apple strap. You're the rubber one. You've got to slide it underneath, unpop it. That happened as I'm stood there filming. I had to grab it with my hand. No one touched it, nothing. And that is the only time that ever happened. But how has my watch come off without me taking it off, putting it behind me? The dog didn't do it, and Becky didn't do it. And I know I didn't do it. And that was the same morning as the door.
It's your fairies.
But I didn't feel anything. And with the door, we didn't hear the front door open or close. Even if you do it gently, where we sat, we was listening to the TV, but you can hear people coming up, like walking up the path towards the door. I've got really sensitive hearing, so there's nothing like that. And for Bruno to start barking, normally it's like someone's banging on the door or they ring the bell or bark. But only like late at night. During the day, he just starts wagging his tail, thinking it's for him. But does anyone any ideas of what that was? What it could be other than fairies?
All
I'm still
sorts
trying to
of
figure out what
ideas.
happened to the dashing between Kit and Cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The realm's a weird place, brother. I think,
I know.
and we're experiencing these macro and micro things. You know, it's going to start talking to you, and you're into the freaky woo woo. So freaky woo woo is going to be tapping on your
Yeah.
shoulder constantly. So you've got to pick up just because you're so antsy.
Yeah, but I do keep asking for signs, but I don't want ones that are like going to freak me out like that.
Well, you
can't-
asked.
Okay,
You
shall I
asked for.
see you?
I was going to say yes. You asked, and you have.
Yeah.
You've.
Yeah,
you've
but I asked for-
received. You've.
Positive.
Well, that was.
Well, that's not
Mm.
negative.
It's positive.
Yeah.
Move. It's positive for you to see it in a negative way so you can move forward and finally get over that shit. So that's positive in the long run, right? So
Yeah.
Positive can also mean a confirmation. So
Yes. Mm.
That's
Indeed.
true. But it wasn't like negative. It wasn't like super
Yeah,
scary shadow
nothing.
figures chasing you down the hall. Like
That's
it's
tonight.
nice.
No, I'm not even joking about that. But yeah, it wasn't negative. It didn't freak me out, but it was like it creeped me out a little bit as to, the door happened, then that happened. It's like what's going on?
Maybe there's just gentle first steps to get you, sort of used to the kind of things. Just,
Ready for the abuse?
No, it doesn't have to be. Just no. Don't expect the abuse.
No. But I think if you expect the worst, then anything else is a bonus.
But
Well,
if
if
you
you
expect
expect
the
the worst is going to happen. Sorry, yes, sorry,
Exactly.
Nicole. I was like, okay, yeah,
Exactly.
we're doing it in unison. Yes, it was like,
Yeah.
expect
We're on the
worst.
same wavelength today, Dawn.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Nothing's happened since. So
That's okay. That's
Uh,
intriguing, interesting.
have any
No
of you guys?
No strange smells because we were
No.
possibly going to move into that area as well, or maybe not. But
through
was
doing
fun.
this, I check the environment for everything: strange smells, sound, lights, even like low, high, like humming noises, anything mechanical. Nothing. That's why I check the doorbell. Other than the static on the doorbell, I can send you both copies of it if you like, all of you, if anyone wants to view it. There's literally nothing on there. But it's just weird how that went off, and it wasn't. So you can have it on motion detection or when someone presses the bell. At the time, it was set for someone to press the bell, yet it still recorded it for 20 seconds. It's like it still did a default recording, even though no one pressed it. Yeah.
could it not be the kids playing a prank from the inside, and that's why you didn't see it
No.
because they reached around and pressed it?
No, because
No.
We would have heard them either going out, coming back in, or going back upstairs. The kids are not light on the feet, put it that way. And but the thing is, it comes up on. I've got the app. There's only me that's got the app on the phone. It comes up if someone's pressed it, but it didn't come up that. This is a weird thing. It didn't come up that anyone had pressed it, but it's still recorded as though somebody had pressed it.
Does it capture just motion too?
You can set it to motion, but because there's a path right at the front of the house, it goes off every 20 seconds. It's like it's doing me head off. I had it on. I only took it back off, so I put motion back on last Saturday just to see if it picks anything else up, and I turned it off again today because it was just people walking past, cats, dogs, birds, all that kind of stuff.
So maybe it was just motion that set it off, like something going past
No.
it real quick.
It wasn't set on motion at the time. I set it on motion afterwards to see if there's anything to follow from what had happened.
So you're looking for a physical answer to something that may not be physical.
I'm just wondering what it could have been.
So ask.
I have.
Like, ask them, like, hey, what are you? Let me know what you are.
Mm.
So then be prepared for the answer.
Draw or play guitar or something like that. You know what I mean?
I've been asking. It's like I did hear a bang in here last night, but nothing's moved. Nothing's fell off the wall. I don't think so.
Are any of those things haunted in there?
Possibly the alien fetus. I don't know. I've got crystals. I've got salt lamps. I've got about 3 of them. I've got quite a lot of protective stuff.
Yeah, might be like attached to something, or have something attached.
No, I don't think so.
You haven't picked those up? Anything in there at a investigation site or anything? Brought it back with you? There's
No.
these series of people going to this ghost town in California, and they keep mailing letters with rocks and apology letters back to the place saying, I took this, my life sucks, it's gone to shit. After I took this, I'm giving it back, please take it back. People take little artifacts, and this place is mailed back to them with apology letters all the time.
I've heard that. I almost took a thing from Penhurst when I went. There was like a stone on the ground, like a piece of like concrete or whatever. I almost took it, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to bring nothing back with me.
Yeah, something in it's like, hey, pick me up. And you're like, no. Leave it.
I have brought a rock back from Cannock Chase, but that was 3 years ago, so I'm not counting that. It's not just going to start kicking in that. It's just on the footpath.
Was there anything special that happened at Cannock Chase at the time, or?
What didn't happen? Shadow people, laughing, orbs, noises, voices, just weird shit going on. So I was with Sober Carper, Simon Riley. We went like 3 times. Warren came with us because of our Andy. He came. Simon had something twanging his aerial on his van that you would have to climb up and do that, literally, like a CB aerial. You couldn't just reach over. Unless you're 10 foot tall, then you could probably reach over and grab it. But there's just loads of weird stuff happening there. But I can't remember if it was that time that I took it or the time after. So I'm going back in a couple of weeks, so I might take it back.
Oh, check this out. Okay, Nicole, I've got your next spot to go. Andy, I've got something here to pull up, buddy.
Yes.
All right,
Let me
screen share.
remove.
There you go. I think you guys have to tell me if it's sharing. It takes me off.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Dude, I need to go back to it. Okay, this is Bodie, California. In fact, here, I'll share this tab instead. Right here. This is the part that I was talking about. So some visitors to the ghost town of Bodie, California have reported experiencing negative consequences after taking artifacts from the site and have mailed them back to the park. So the Birdie, how am I saying that? Bodie? Is that right? Okay.
Bodie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bodie. I like the way you say it better. The
Bodie.
curse legend has it that removing anything from Bodie, even a small object like a nail or rock, brings misfortune. that led to park rangers at Boday's museum receiving numerous letters and artifacts from people who blame their bad luck on the curse. Let's totally go to this place, dude. Look at this thing.
What is the
Yeah.
curse? Do you know? Does it say what the curse is? What it's based on? What are the
Then but like weird shit happened to the people. There's all these stories. You guys can check out Bodhi's Ghost Town and the stories behind it. But there's a lot of stories of people who will pick up a rock or a bottle because there's a lot of little artifacts laying around. Like if you were to walk over and think something was cool and grabbed it off of this little thing and thought it was no big deal and went home with it, it would destroy your life. Somebody like that's why all this shit's still laying here because the curse exists. People won't take things like this or this dope ass lamp right here because they know that if they do, they bring it home, then their life goes to shit. People like report hauntings, poltergeist activity in their house, losing their job, feeling ill and sick, all kinds of things, and they mail these things back with apology letters. And so there's just story after story from the people who take care of this thing because it's a national park. Or it's a park. It's I think something like that. And so they have a ton of stories about people who just mail these things back. And I'm certain it's an exhibit at the place to some degree. They'll probably have it just laying out.
Ooh,
Pretty wild.
another one for you. I just found that the stones from Gettysburg battlefield are cursed.
Oh, I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
I am not
try
taking
that
anything from Gettysburg.
Well, I would just leave it alone, you know?
I have
Yeah,
to fly
also
back.
Hawaii.
I'm
Hawaii,
not
you can't
touching.
take rocks from.
Yeah, that's right. If any stone leaves the land, right? Anything leaves the land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pele's
I'm
cursed.
gonna learn to levitate between now and then and not even touch the ground.
It's all graveyard dirt.
Hashtag goals. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lewis,
what if
you?
you walk stuck
Oh,
in your
sorry.
shoe?
Go on.
No, that's a good point. What if you're walking around and you get like a piece of gravel or something stuck in your shoe and you don't know it, and then you're walking around, you're cursed now? Is there some sort of like learning curve with the ghosts? So they like, hey man, they didn't mean to.
Does it go back to intent? Like you didn't intend to take it.
I think intent
I
is.
was going to ask,
Yeah. Yeah.
Lewis, what do you think?
I have no clue about ghosts
Alright,
and stuff,
okay.
honestly. I got a clue.
Huh. Anyone in the chat? What do you think? You take
well,
shit.
we know there's more than this physical. So, yes.
Baby
Yeah.
with laser said heard of the same thing has happened at Barry Pomeroy Castle.
Barry Pomeroy. That's a fun name. Hang on.
Never heard
It
of it.
sounds like a flavor, like a drink flavor.
Yeah, like a drink. It does like
Like a berry pomegranate. Barry Pomeroy.
smells like a smoothie. Oh, this is dope. Hey, let's go to here. Dawn, we're gonna go to here, okay? Hang on.
Where is it?
Where is it? It's a castle, so it's not here.
Yeah,
France or the
there.
UK.
can everybody see that?
No,
No.
Can now.
There we go.
not
No.
yet.
Where is it? In England?
Devon.
Yeah, Devon. So that's in England. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Ooh.
We can take
it's
Very
pretty.
Pomeroy.
mushrooms in this thing. What do you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
awesome.
definitely haunted as fuck. Look at that. It's
Dude,
castle.
yes.
Yeah. There is actually there's an old mansion.
What part of
just down-
Devon?
God, that's cool. If we can do that.
There's an old mansion down near me that looks
this.
quite similar to that. It used to be a grammar school. Where's
There's-
that? Tons.
Totnes?
Oh, Totnes. It's near Totnes. Okay.
A Pimson?
Oh, there's
Still
so many
don't know.
castles. There was another castle right over there.
Oh, yes, we have castles here.
Yeah. But you know, we are living castles in the UK. Everyone, when they're born, get given a castle.
You got an audio artifact going on. Anybody else hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids.
It might be like the fans or
It's
something.
near
That's
Payton,
a
Torquay.
yeah, but that's weird because that's the
Playing
south
on.
coast. I don't know why it's showing it as yeah.
Well, it's right there. Boom.
Thames district of Devon.
Yeah. No, it's
Hmm.
It seems to be. Hang on.
oh, right. No, it's just the way they were showing it. It was along. Yes, it's on the south coast.
Let me see whose mic that is.
Not mine.
No, not mine. Dawn's. That's your mic, Dawn.
Mine.
Ooh.
Watch. Stops as the mute Dawn.
Yeah, it might be a
There we go.
connection issue. See if it's connected fully, though.
It's all right. It's bearable.
Dude, electronics have been weird. I don't know why we haven't talked about that yet. Like, I've not been able to send voicemail on my phone. I haven't been able to send pictures, anything. Like, cycle towers, everything's upgraded. Everything's being weird. Have you all
Did you notice that with 5G, like it didn't actually make any signal better?
It wasn't for that, but yes.
Well, I know that, but that's what they're, reporting that they're doing is.
They say a lot, don't they?
It's going to be better signal, and I've had way worse signal since they put the 5G towers in.
Right, so they've activated the 5G towers now in the UK. I think it was last week. So they're all fully active, apparently. Why am I still getting 3G? I thought they'd shut 3G off and we only got 4G and 5G.
Just depends on what's working.
Not 5G, obviously.
5G wasn't for your cell phone. That was for your cells.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting. We got this fucking tower out here, and then all of a sudden, all of these huge pines that have been here for decades and decades and decades, every single tree at a certain height and over died out here. Every single one of them. There was a whole forest of pines out here that died in this dude's front yard. We lost all of these huge clusters of pines that we had, and they were, 30, 40 feet high. And now they bring this tower out here, and my awesome neighbor decided it'd be a good idea to put it right there. Drops it right there, and then all these tall trees die. And it's just been really interesting to see sort of the geographic changes with the 5G. And yes, our internet is not improved, but our trees have started dying, with my own eyes, what I'm saying.
I can vouch for that. I saw them too.
Yeah, you remember we had
you showed me. It's just so obvious at that level.
Yep. Everything at a certain level where that thing's broadcasting at died. So it's pretty interesting. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not somebody who's sitting here going, the sky's falling. I think they are fucking with shit. And we do have friends in organite places that have given us things. And so we've gone around and neutralized some towers. And I've noticed differences and thrown pucks out. So if there's an actionable thing to be taken, I think that you can do it. Because and let's go back to intent. Let's say that the only thing they did was put out a tower and they hooked something up to it. And the only thing powering the way that I feel about it is the way that I feel about it. And maybe this realm is like this. They took the dash out of Kit and Kat and told us it never existed. So crazier things have happened. But maybe my faith in the thing being a piece of shit is making it a piece of shit. Maybe the fact that I threw a puck out there that I believe was magical and would help is magical and will help. And therefore change the energy around the place because I changed the energy about a structure that happened to get put up there. That's what I really think going on.
Reality.
Yeah, exactly. Manifestation, isn't it? Yeah. That's got to play a big part of what's happening in our existence.
I think it's everything, really. I don't think that side, the reality side, can create anything. I think that they can whisper in your ear, and we're the creatives here. We're the ones that actually create. And so their job is to get us to create what they want. And so our job is not to listen what they want, disoblige that shit, and create our own. So therefore, I've alchemized that. Chemtrails, I don't call them that anymore. I call them fucking cocaine lines for God, dude, and he's just having a party up there.
That's a good one.
I don't find them sinister anymore. I'm not looking around at my world going, you're out to get me. I'm actually doing the complete opposite. Because now I see even the sinister things have led to massive changes and level ups for us. So I embrace it all. I'm not out there promoting that it exists, but I do not participate in the evil things anymore. But I see that it needs to exist for other people to get they shit together, as it were.
To open your eyes and make you kind of conscious to what's going on in your world.
You got, and oh my God, this can go so deep. Lewis, you'll chime in on this with his amazing book, fucking Active Assimilation, Part 1. I'm going to plug him as we talk about this. And John, what really makes you ill? Boom, loaded up.
Yes, it is.
I've been looking at this very, very interesting, and I've kind of thought that, everything I feel that's going on here, especially like the shit, whatever, is so that you have a benchmark, not only to forge who you really are, to determine that at a further resolve. You're learning so much here, so it really feels like a school. But at a big level, it feels like those things are here for you to find juxtaposition in to create from a baseline of. For example, some people, when they get Legos, they go nuts and they throw the instructions out and they just build shit with the Legos. But Legos needed to exist. They didn't craft these things. They created something out of something that existed for them to create something out of. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Pen and paper, for instance. Those things exist so that you can create something out of them, but nothing is there until you create something. So the creator created creators. That's what we are, right? We all recognize each other because we ring at the same frequency. There's sympathetic resonance here. We catch each other. We're like, yeah, I got you. I see you. The things out there, NPCs, lizard turds, all of those things, they offer us a beautiful frame of reference for something that we get to build better. So this is what the Build Back Better motto has been, not what they, air quotes, were ever going to do, because it was never about that. It was always about inspiring us to discover who we are and create better than they were offering. But they had to offer you a shit sandwich for you to deny it, okay? This is the whole point. If you weren't offered shit, you wouldn't, honestly, we weren't doing anything. Like 2020 was the catalyst everybody needed. I quit my job soon after started the podcast, quit the job within a year and a half. So it was a massive motivator and catalyst for me. I was chilling, doing fine like everybody else, you know, but these things allow us to create at a higher level. So again, any of the out there's and everything like this, they're framework. They're not meant to be sustained, continued, anything. They're meant for you to look at it, go, huh, well, I would do this, or I would paint it this color, or I would make it function in this way, or I would do that, but I'd remove all the preservatives and shit out of it. Why would you add that to it? So these are the things that I feel are there. They offer you shit for you to be inspired to create better.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the 2020 stuff.
Absolutely.
That's the so many people are sort of starting to see that it was a gift. So we see, if you're like what we don't like, to go, oh, I don't want that, to then say, right, okay, what can we do about it? So it is about taking responsibility, learning that it's about responsibility, that it's for us to choose what we want to create. And that's and not look into the answer. I mean, I'm not sure that there is a they who are trying to make us do anything. It's how we perceive whatever is going on out there. It's what you make of whatever it is you're seeing on the screen and out there, or what you're hearing. It's what you choose to make of it, what you choose to learn from it, what you choose to do with it. And the disoblige and create is so powerful, because you stop giving the nonsense your energy, and it's recognizing that we either give it our energy, in which case, you know, we live in fear, we create something out of fear, you know, the nocebo effect. I mean, it just, that's why I talk about that. Now again, with the book, What Really Makes You Ill, you can look at that and say, oh, you've said all these things to make us ill. Well, it's only so that we've got the information to say, right, okay, there's this stuff that actually isn't good for us. So what can we do about it? Okay, well, you can carry on eating that stuff or doing or exposing yourself. That's fine. But at least you now know that it's not quite what we've been told. So we can then make choices. So that's what this is about. And, you know, you can have whatever the experience is. So you, Andy, asked for an experience. So you had something that was a little bit kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just to say, okay, well, here's a little taster of it. It doesn't have to be horrible, because you can go, okay, well, all right, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But it's where you go with it, and what you do with it, and how you create with it.
Well, that brings me to my question to both of you, or all of you. So were you saying about you get the crap and the bad and the evil? What if you was to not so much ignore it and move on from it, but to take that crap and create something good from it, adjust it, realign it? So it's like, right, there you go. There's this. It's not very good. Can you make anything good? Not
take the crap and use it as fertilizer to grow something beautiful.
Create something good from it. So
that's alchemy.
Here's a bowl of crap. Can you make it into a bunch of roses? Not, it's just hypothetically speaking. I don't mean physically, but
it varies. It can be whatever. Yeah.
Because I get that. I completely understand that. That's
not my mic doing that. That's not my mic. I just turned it off. It's not mine. I mean, it depends on whatever it is you're faced with, whatever it is, because it could be different. It's just different. So it depends. I mean, there are some occasions where it's not about ignoring it, but you can say, okay, I'm not going to give my energy to that particular situation. But there may be some times where you may have to work with it to get yourself out of it, for example. But it depends. It depends. So I don't know what you mean. If there's something that's horrible,
So
that you can make something good out of it.
If you have a bad experience,
yeah,
just everyday life, if you can turn that into something positive.
Yes.
Yeah, bad experience. Go ahead, Dawn.
I was going to say probably what you were going to say. It would depend what you mean by bad. I mean, that's the perspective.
Well, it's individual, isn't it? It's down to that person what they perceive is good and bad.
Triggers you. You like go, I'm triggered, right? Yeah, triggers. Those are great. Those are rings of a bell. Those are huge. That's because you've been ignoring the feathers, or they're opportunities because a version of you goes, "Oh shit, we're in this opportunity. Hang on. I've got this somewhere back here," and it's thumbing through the file of shit where you have the opportunity to clear this and get rid of it. And it's like, oh shit, here it is. Yeah. Okay. When you were young, you felt like this, and then now you have the opportunity to not feel like this by treating it differently. Ready, go. And then now you get an opportunity to alchemize that. Triggers are.
I love triggers. I love triggers.
Yeah. Because they
are amazing.
Yeah, trigger warning. The bigger fan you can be about triggers, the better off you will be, because then you'll seek them out. Those things, and not to trigger you to trigger you, to trigger you to heal. And again, it's about intent. Very, very good, Nicole, on that. That if you're out for that, those are indicators. I found that my biggest triggers came with my mom personally, and I would sit there, still find them, by the way. And my mom has been one of my greatest mirrors to what I still have to work on. And that's what I see all of reality as. You guys know I believe it's asking you 2 questions. Who are you? Are you sure? And so triggers are the thing coming back around to say, hey, you said that you're cool, calm, you've got this disposition, these things don't bother you. Here's this situation. Go. Do you still feel that way? And if you answer yes, then there you go. But it's going to have to trigger you for you to get over that for you to get over it, or to understand something at a deep level.
And at the same time, triggers up. Sorry.
Go ahead, Dom.
No, I was just going to say, and triggers that make you angry, there's nothing wrong with being angry. It's to recognize what it is, because you can still learn from the feeling. And again, even whatever the feeling is, you call it anger, something triggers you, and you can learn from it. And it could be you can definitely get something good out of feeling angry, because you can clear something. If somebody's being, it's like, again, I'm not going to get into it, but if somebody's being rude to you, it can just be for you to actually, strengthen your boundaries, shall we say, and then say, actually, no, I'm not going to put up with somebody being rude to me. So it can be for that, it's not that it's a bad thing if you get angry. It's being able to just spend that time to sit back and say, okay, how did I feel? And to ask yourself questions, this self-inquiry thing, to ask yourself questions and to sit there and get some context of what's the thoughts, and then to get some ideas of the thoughts that come up, and then learn through it.
Analyze yourself.
It's a lesson. And I feel like the universe or fate or the powers that be or whatever keeps putting the same lesson right in your face until you finally get it. And you're like,
oh yes.
But
it has to.
I learned from this now.
Yeah.
But what do you do when you get it? How do you react when you get it?
The way that I look is it's loops. So once you see that exit, it's like you have an opportunity to hop off the loop or keep going. And dude, if you choose the exit, then you just wave it by and you don't think about it anymore. You're just already on to something else. I don't drive from the mirror, so just get off the loop and move on.
Yeah, I just laugh at it now.
Yeah, I mean, you just
literally
move on. Yeah, it's like a small town that you pass along a route to somewhere else. It's you got to go through that town, so don't.
It's like stepping stones.
Yeah, move through it and keep going.
Lewis. Yeah.
Yes, Matt. Oh, I was gonna say, so everything that you experience and don't experience at the same time is not necessarily there to teach you, but you can be taught something by it. So this speaker, for example, its objective purpose is to have sound, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of other things I can do with it. I can put it as an ornament. I can bash someone's head in with it. I can use it to hire something up. So let's say this mic, so I can speak.
Mic shelf. Yeah.
You've got an objective reality, but it's not necessarily always the reality of what you're experiencing. It's how you perceive it and what you choose to do with it. A bad person thinks, okay, how can I use this? And they use it for them selfishly. And then the opposite, a good person, let's say, does the same. And okay, how can I learn from this? How can I use this to help other people?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's how you choose as an individual to alchemize it. And there's no wrong answers.
No.
Oh no.
As long as it's your
I think
answer.
except for the bashing somebody's head in.
Well,
I feel
it
like that
depends.
might be wrong,
If they
but-
deserve it, then it's not a wrong answer. And most people do somewhere
Yeah.
along the line.
I mean, I guess it's
Like
self-defense.
options, right?
Yeah.
You look at it and
Yeah. But yeah, I totally get that. Because it's like, I'm going to bring this up. I know I keep going on about it, but bench guy, when I had that encounter with the guy on the bench and I walked away, the first thought I got into my head when everything started becoming clear was that was the devil. But I didn't start panicking and freaking out and going, oh my God, the devil is trying to kill me, he's trying to drag me to hell. I was just like, that was the devil. Oh well, and then just carried on. But
Can you
it
give
wasn't
me a 30-second rundown of what that story is? Because I don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
So,
oh boy, what you're in for
it wasn't a bad encounter. So I was out in the cemetery near me doing an investigation, one of the very first ones that I did. There's me and this lad called Mark. Anyway, we'd split up. I'm doing a live stream, and this guy sat on the bench dressed like Mark, baseball cap, hoodie, tracky bottoms, trainers. So I'm shining my torch. I'm saying to the people that are in the studio, there's Ryan and Deb, I'm like, I hope it's not a stranger because I've just blinded them. It's like 9:15 at night in April, so it just started to get dark, but quite dark. And anyway, it wasn't him. It was some Dutch lad, about 25, 26, really pale skin, just sat on the bench with his phone. And that's what this background is. This is what I created. Let me put it at the front. That. So I'm talking to him. He didn't look like that at the time. Afterwards, when Mark's watching the video back, I watched it frame by frame. It starts off with a tiny little thin strip like that until he's got a full orange orb in front of his face. Now, the people watching it live, and some of them are in the chat now, some couldn't see him, some couldn't hear him, some couldn't see or hear him, some could see and hear him, or some could just see him, or some could just hear him. Right? Now, I had a GoPro on a body cam, and like I said, he's like Dutch accent, but spoke really good English. When you listen to the audio back on the GoPro, he sounded like an 80-year-old man, like a frail 80-year-old man. It was not him that you was listening to. And even if it was distorted, it still wasn't him. And the headstones, when I was looking at them afterwards, a lot of them were foreign, like Eastern European names. I've been back since. Half them headstones are not there, and there's only two that are Czech pilots from World War One. The rest of them are like Gibson, Dixon, Johnson, Smith, Walters. I've walked past and documented every single headstone doing a live stream. But going back to so that was literally what had happened, and I walked away. Oh no, that was it. So I said to this guy, I goes, right, I kind of felt like I had to explain what I was doing. So he said, oh yeah, your mate's just down there, he just walked past me. So I found Mark, he's like, there's no one sat on the bench. He was recording on his phone as he walked past. He stopped the recording, went back, we watched it. As he walks past the bench, there's nobody there. Yeah, this thing on the bench was adamant that he just walked past him while he was sat there. Couldn't smell cigarettes, no drugs, no alcohol, nothing. I was trying to see what he was doing on his phone. I think it looked like he was playing Pokemon Go because that was quite big at the time. And I thought he sat there on his own in the middle of the cemetery, 9:15 at night. It just didn't make any sense. But then you get this red glow in front of his face, and like this one, I don't know if you can see, but if you look, you can see a red eye behind it, his mouth, and his chin comes out really pointed, like how the devil's perceived. It's just, Yeah, I can see it because I know what I'm looking for because I'm talking to him. But when I walked away before I found Mark, I was like, that was the devil. And I got a sudden rush of adrenaline. And then I'm like, ooh. And it just, I do think about it quite a lot, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't freak me out. I don't get scared for it. I still go back to that place day and night. I go on my own. I go with other people. It just doesn't resonate anything negative. But then if you read about who or what the devil was, he wasn't an evil person. He just didn't agree with what was going on in heaven and kind of like got kicked out and was creating his own version of it. But then same sort of thing. If you do something evil, you will be punished, which is what happens regardless, no matter where you are.
Well, I was going to say depends on your definition of the devil, but obviously you've just explained that. So yeah. Again.
Sorry.
What do you think the role of that devil is in your life?
I didn't think when I just felt like that was a gut feeling. I've not seen that, like I said, it was nearly 4 years ago. Since then, I've not got anything else saying, well, it could have been this, it could have been that. It's like 100% solid, straight down the line. That was, for me, that was the devil. Whether it was a person, energy, some shape shifting, something pretending like cloaking to be what the devil is, but it didn't come across as evil. I didn't feel threatened, even if it glamoring, even if it was doing that, and like in a bit of a trance. Even afterwards, I didn't feel threatened afterwards, even when it triggered to what had just gone on. I felt, it was just that moment of realization. The rest of it was, he's the devil. I can't do anything about it. It happened. I was there. I spoke to him. This went on. I've got it on video. I went home. The end. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing.
How did you feel about the devil beforehand? No, sorry. How did you feel about the devil before?
Well, it's going back to Hollywood, isn't it? You feel like you're going to get dragged and they're going to take you the demons and they just want the souls and they want to create this living hell for eternity for everyone. But then this was about 2 years later, we started watching Lucifer. We just straight the way through, just binge watched it for like 3 weeks. And I'd heard of the TV show Lucifer, but never watched it. And watching it, and everything that happens in that was how I perceived what had happened and what I thought the devil was up until that point. Up before that, it was like evil, bad, out to get everyone, just take all the souls and do whatever he wants to do to them. But then it is more, no, it's not that. It's more, if you're a shithead, you're going to know about it. If you're nice and you just carry on doing what you're doing, he's going to leave you alone. Why would he bother with you? And that's how it comes across in the TV show Lucifer. So whether there's some truth to it, I don't know.
So your perception has changed then?
Completely.
Your perception of Lucifer, well, there you are. Maybe that was the opportunity for you.
Yeah.
But I said,
like history is written by the winners. So, like, if, God kicked him out of heaven and, no, he's a bad guy. Like, was he? Or did he just disagree?
Maybe heaven.
Well, that's it.
You ever think about that?
Get this, right? So, he got kicked out of heaven because he's a bad guy. I've been kicked out of pubs and clubs, mainly for being sick and too drunk. But I'm not being bad. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not fighting with anyone. I've just had one too many. And but do you know what I mean? So... But then the week after, a couple of weeks after, they let me in and they go, you're not going to be throwing up everywhere. No, not tonight. I'm not even drinking.
I'm afraid to drink with
what did you say before, Lewis? Because we started at the same time. So what was it you were going to add?
I've lost the train of thought, but Brandon said something before.
I think I said Brienne Davis is in that show, and I've had her on the show. She was really nice.
Oh.
No, you said something like, what if heaven is actually hell or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Well, what if heaven sucks? You know, and
That was it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
'cause I've thought about this. All the people going to heaven that claim that they are, I don't want to hang out with them in this place. Why the fuck would I want to hang out with them on a cloud with a harp? They
But
probably
that
that harp.
that was another thing that it brought me to. What if
Where all the good
heaven
music is? It's in hell,
is-
allegedly. That's where
Yeah.
Ozzy's going. I mean, Metallica, like fucking Tool, all that. You know.
Me and my
because
friends
heaven-
at work joke about that. We're like, all right, whoever gets there first, start making the margaritas.
Well, I think if you subscribe to that idea, you're going to get that result. So if you like the two-party system, Democrat, Republican, if you're subscribing to that idea, you get that turd to polish. And if you want the two-party hell, heaven, God, or there's a place that you can go if you fuck up this place, to which you have no clear metric and standard of how to do it, by the way. And even if you were given all the clues, you don't have the understanding to grasp what you're supposed to do here in totality. Without your need to survive. So there's an instant contradiction of terms in the narrative, but we don't, and we could go off on it, and it's not my place to do so. But I'm saying it, if you subscribe to an idea, then yes, you need to continue to animate it. A bunch of people need to continue to create it so that it exists.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about the heaven and hell they're talking about, the hell kind of sucks because it's whatever they want to happen bad to the people that they think music was too loud, and then up there it's shit music and dickheads who want people to burn,
Well,
you know, and who like are
The,
cool.
the point is, we're given this, heaven, hell, as if it's like the two-party system. You
Yeah.
go, well, it's either this or that. You go, well, who says?
Yeah, you don't have to vote, by the way. Yeah, you don't.
No,
have
it's
to,
like-
exactly. Who
you
says?
just-
But it's
Oh,
like
God.
heaven comes across as quite communist. You've got to follow the rules and regulations and do what they
Yeah.
say.
Who says? Well, really, not necessarily. Well, it's your
But-
interpretation. It's your
Yeah,
interpretation.
But then hell is more like a lot more liberal and laid back. And look, you kind of do what you want, but just
It's just hot.
don't do anything
But
that you're going to
again,
get punished for because you're not going to enjoy it.
Okay, but is
But-
that based on
Oh,
your
that's
understanding, Andy,
what
or
you
what
tend
the
to
narrative?
get.
Okay, well then let's take turns. Let's go around the room. What does your heaven look like, and what does your hell look like? Andy, go ahead.
So my heaven is like you all got to wear all in uniform. Everything's routine. You've got to do this. Lights out at say 9:30.
This is your heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the heaven you are. If you get done with this place, they go here. Come to the light. You get to pick whatever heaven you want. This is your heaven.
What I've imagined it to be like since being a kid.
Okay, but not not that. Not
Not
imagine
that.
it to be like based on a narrative. What is your idea of heaven?
Heaven, oh, very controlled. You have to do what they say, the people in
But
charge.
that's where you want to go.
No, I want to go to hell.
That's the version
Oh
of
no. Oh right.
your
So
version of heaven.
my version of heaven is probably everyone's version of hell. Yeah. So my version of heaven is you can do what you want, go where you want, no license. Yeah, you've got to follow rules and regulations. There's got to be some sort of order and like policing and that, so you don't get.
How can you do what you want if there are rules and regulations?
Hmm.
You've got to have
Have to wear a seatbelt in
guidelines.
your heaven,
I
Andy?
suppose guidelines.
Do I have to wear a seatbelt in your heaven?
No
But-
speed limits.
Well, what if we're getting a wreck?
Right. Basically, people who know what they're doing get into heaven. Those that think they know what they're doing and they don't really have a clue, they're the ones that go to hell.
I know what you're doing, because is there a metric for that? Is there a list that we can check
No.
off? There's
It's all the consciousness. The powers that be can read your consciousness, so they know who has the ability to think for themselves. It's more that.
But should you
having
be
the-
punished just because you're not as intelligent
but
as someone
you're not-
else?
No, hey,
What powers that
You know-
be?
Yeah, That was
the
a-
devil or God, whoever runs it. So you're not getting
Okay.
punished, but free thinking. That's the only way that I can put it.
and this
You
is
get what I mean?
your heaven.
Yeah.
What you
So
would
you-
like if you could create heaven.
Yeah, so you can go where you want. You don't have to, like, if you want to travel to other countries and go and explore, you don't have to get permission. You don't have to get permits and visas and passports and licenses. Everyone's allowed to do stuff because no one's there that's messing anything up, that's creating all these stupid PC rules for everyone else.
okay. What's your hell like?
The complete opposite, full of these people that Like, we now at work, we now have to start wearing steel toe cap shoes because some idiots dropped a massive box on the foot and nearly broke it, right? Not the box, the foot. So we now have to tell them sort of people, it's like, it's just normal common sense. If you don't have common sense, then you go to the other place.
All right, lack of common sense based on Andy. Andy's got the metrics for that. He will let you know when you get there if you've succeeded in them or not, just like the real God. Nicole, what's your heaven and what's your hell?
See, that's hard because I don't think I believe in heaven and hell.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying, what's your heaven and your...
Yeah, but like, my whole concept is like, okay, you keep going. You get to come back. You get to do what you want, like, or you're just done and you dissipate into, like, stardust. So I guess, like, if I had to make a heaven, it would be basically you could do what you want. Like, everything that you could ever want, all the knowledge, everything that you have right there.
What if reincarnation only happens because people can't answer that question whenever they're done? I'm really curious about this, because if you think about it, what your answer was to come back here just with a little bit, like another shot, like to have another shot. So you're down with reincarnation, like you'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like past lives, reincarnation. But I don't necessarily think it's like a linear, like I die, I go somewhere, and then they like put me in another body here on this earth. I feel like your energy can become other things.
Okay. See, now we're talking. I think that this may be a good exercise for folks. Lewis, what do you think? I'm curious about your answers too, but this may be a good exercise because it's like recapitulation for the Cathars and Gnostics talked about in their practice of making sure that they left nothing on the table. They left new open tabs. They riddled with their guilt. They got it all cleared out. They're cool with the decisions they made with the information they had at the time. They obviously also abstained from quite a bit in this reality as to not grow attachment to it. And then they feel like the lack of attachment here and having a sort of a bland life leads to your ability to sort of shed it after this and not need it anymore. There's a lot of different ideas behind this. Then the idea of not going to the soul trap and you actually end up in the void for 3 days and you've got to remain perfectly still and not wish yourself stimuli and then therefore end up back in the matrix. And so there's a lot of ideas out there that influence us even from this life, what could happen from the afterlife. And within that, I think that there's a lot of power and freedom for us to just at least think about it. And if we get to the end and they say, all right, what do you want your heaven to be? And you can't give them an answer, or you give them an answer based on what they can provide back here without having to create anything new, then maybe that's just the loop we play. But if we have an answer, maybe we get to create that instead.
Can I just quickly add?
Yeah,
so everyone knows what each person's doing. No one gets involved in anyone else's business. Everyone's happy with what's going on, and it just runs nice and smooth like it's supposed to.
Like a board, like no independent thought. So everybody's just kind of...
That sounds boring.
No, because you are not... Yeah, you still have parties and that. You still go on holiday and what have you. But everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. Everyone knows what's going on. Everyone's the same mindset. And just everyone gets on with everyone.
Is it cool at your party if somebody wants to walk in and take a shit on the beach while you're standing there having a party on it?
Not really. No, that's just disgusting.
But then that negates your idea of heaven.
It's interesting. When you really start to break down systems, it's pretty tough. We actually have a really interesting system that we're in right now. If you really look at it from a systems perspective, it's fascinating. And then if our job is to create something better using the system as framework, then it gets even more interesting. Lewis, what do you think? Heaven and hell?
I think I'm too stupid to understand perfection. So I've just given an answer that I think.
I'm giving you the queef of self-deprecation only because you called yourself stupid, but I get the vibe of it. And I love your face for it.
Currently, I'm too stupid. I have to say.
Anybody gets that?
It doesn't have to be perfect. Just how you want it to be. It's how you want it.
I think absolute nothingness is the only attainable perfection. I think whenever you have more than one thing, you have two things, and those two things must be opposite. And once you have opposites, you're somewhere in between the opposites, and then consciousness comes involved, and it's a whole complex amalgamation of things that happen. And I think nothingness is the only perfection.
Okay, so that brings me to, what if heaven is your own little bubble, your own little reality that you create. Because can you really have anybody else in your heaven? Because your perfect is not going to be somebody else's perfect.
Creation is external, and therefore that would negate the nothingness.
Right. So
And then you have the idea of desire as well. If you want something, then how can you be in perfection?
Correct.
The want would not be there.
That's very deep thought. Like if you want something, it's not perfect.
And it's gotta have room to grow and be imperfect, because that is perfection. Because then you don't get bored.
And it will
it's very
change.
interesting. Because if you really start to think from a like creator perspective, you're like, well, shit, this place is kind of perfect, honestly. Because all the gifts are here, all the clues are here for anybody that wants to see them and get out. All of them. It is a distillation escape room process. And it's fascinating.
Can I retract everything I just said about heaven and hell? Yeah, and just
you're allowed to change your mind.
Involved in how long? 15 minutes here. Okay,
right.
This is good. You have the rest of your days to kind of think.
I now do not believe in anything at all.
Fuck it all. Okay,
the law is gone. It's gone.
Lewis has convinced you to go into the
void. Lewis's fault.
That's 2 for the void. All right, Dawn. What's yours? Heaven and hell.
I just don't have a concept of heaven. How I just just don't have a concept of them as being places that they are just ideas that we are
it's
told
a conceptual
about.
Paradigm, Dawn,
like a mindset.
As opposed to a place.
Yeah, it's a resonance. Like
it's a little easier.
But again, so heaven is. It doesn't. So again, there's the polarity, isn't there? It's got to be either one or the other. I mean, wherever we are, we're continuing to learn. So, hey, this is heaven.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what's yours?
I'm kind of on that track as well. I think hell is the separation from that which we know we are, but it's also the only opportunity we have at rediscovering who we are under new conditions with new paradigms and rewriting neurology, if you want to call it that, of the God mind in true form. Think about it. If you needed to start writing with your other hand instead of starting that way, it would have taken you a long time. Now, I know there's a bunch of exceptions to this, but it's about the difference between just being innate at something, which I've had a hissy fit about this whole ride so far up to this point. I'm okay with it. About not knowing. I know Hattie Mikowski talks about stinging nettles. He goes, man, you got to learn that stinging nettles sting you in every single lifetime. And if this is an advancement, if we're learning every single time, then what's the deal? And I think that we're well beyond learning at the highest level. I think actually hell and heaven are the same thing. They're both created right here as a state of frequency. But both can only exist in the conditions in which Lewis spoke about. And the condition of void also exists, where you can just go hang out in the fuck all for a little while. Now, if that's the case, I would think it'd get pretty boring. I'm a stimulating person. I like to create. I'm having a blast here, even though there are things that I would like to see different, right? So yes, I can razor's edge see that this place is hell if I choose to look at it in a certain perspective. And then Cherry Dr. Pepper. Oh my God.
It's nice.
Dude, Cherry Dr. Pepper is Sonic with little eyes. I hear you. Yeah, good call, Fire Spirit. Or you can heaven it right over to the side as well. Or you can ride both. And there's this balance between this serene spot where you can see and appreciate the shit because you have to have it to appreciate anything at all. And then it kind of fucks with you a little bit. It can, because then you're like, what kind of God is this? And am I this? And blah, blah, blah. But it's interesting to play this out and to say, yeah, we need all of it to know any of it. And this place is pretty cool. So again, if we take it from a toroidal perspective, I think here the whirled, where we are whirled down into a flat plane of inertia, this is heaven and hell at the same exact time.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Mara, we talked about this with Crow. Here, I'll pull this up real quick because this is just cool.
While you do that, that's where I am with the heaven and hell intertwined at the same time. And that's where I say with triggers, whether they're good or bad, I can deal with them. I enjoy them because it gives you something else to think about, to do, to create with. And it's a bit of a challenge. It's a challenge, but in a good way.
See, I'd kind of lean more towards like the Buddhist concept of like nirvana, where it's like, okay, you learn what you have to learn, and then you're just complete peace and knowing and enlightenment or whatever.
Who says
So-
knowing is peace?
We're there already.
Yeah.
No, knowingness can be hell. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, we know where Lewis is leaning on the question then.
Well, we've
Yeah.
had
Wow.
Lewis and I have
Yes.
had deep discussions about this. Is it a choice between enlightenment and joy and happiness? Because it doesn't feel, because the more enlightened you get, the more depressed you get, to be honest with you. In my case, actually. So is there a balance between enlightenment and happiness? And I'd say yes. On the other side of the depression of the enlightenment is the happiness, because you get surrender and you get
Yeah, you have to get through it.
And it's funny, Nicole, you said Buddhist. This is the Buddhist wheel of life. This is something Crow 777 and I talked about on the last episode. It is not on YouTube because YouTube doesn't deserve it. Go to Patreon. It's free and ad-free there. Go get it there. But Crow 777 and I talked about in the afterthought this idea of Mara. He brought up the Buddhist wheel of life, which is what this is. And when you look at it, let me actually get you a better image. Yeah, let's share this one instead. When you look at this thing, it basically depicts, here we are. Okay, so this depicts what the Buddhists believe are the three poisons in the middle that get us here. It's like jealousy, greed, something else. He just spit them out real quick. These are the realms in which we can incarnate. So it's like our Earth realm here. Maybe this is Agartha. Maybe this is Atlantis. You know what I mean? So they're different. There's 6 different realms we can incarnate in. These are the lifetime as it goes around the wheel. And then you have, there's another one with the hells as well. There's different hells. Now, what's interesting, and he talked about this, is that these Mara, this being, you're always in the jaws of Mara, right? So that's this creature, this entity that has your entire experience, and this would be reincarnation. This would, yes, you live multiple lives, but you run through this cycle with Homegirl. And he talked about as well, the art itself is very mathematically important and proportional. Eyes have to be a certain size between interpretations. Like you can't just go free willy on this. The traditions are to keep it very, very the same because proportions, color, all that matter. And that's why when you see the when you see a Buddhist wheel of life, they all look pretty similar. Even the varying artists, because they have to be based on tradition.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Maybe this is it, gang. Maybe we're just in this thing, and our job is to get out of Homegirl's belly here.
Good goals, I guess.
Hashtag goals. Yep.
Yeah.
Get out of Mara's belly.
Maybe. I mean, or maybe Mara's all there is. Maybe like out here, there's fuck all. Maybe this is you going, man, I wish there was something to do. And you're like, Mara's like, I got you, boo. And you're like, okay. And then you hop up in here and you go, ah.
Right. And then you finish it and then you're like, I'm bored. Let me go another round.
I'm telling you, I think it'd be boring to be God, to be honest with you. I think that's why you created this.
To know everything would be boring.
No, it wouldn't. But to be able to do anything, create anything would be boring. Because you don't have to work for anything.
Well, but think about think about all of our lives, actually. All of us sitting here, it's based on discovery. It's based on new information that lights us up. We're opening a puzzle. We're unlocking something. And if you remove that from us, we go fucking dormant and die, dude. I'd waste away. So I think we need discovery. We need to be challenged and we need to grow. But the only opportunity we have is if we don't know everything. It's a contradiction. This place is paradox because you're trying to get to know everything, but if you knew everything, it'd suck. It's fucking.
This is why I feel like the super like rich elite are so fucked up and weird and like into all this weird stuff. The super like rich people and elite, because they can have anything they want at their fingertips. So like,
I don't call them elite. That's weird. That puts them above me. That's
yeah, the more
no. I think that idea is.
I call them would-be controllers because that's what they would be, but they're not.
Yeah, they wish they were. I don't think it's a real thing. I don't think that affluence and stuff is even real, really, until you create it. I think it's there as a model for you to see what's being done with it rather than what you could do with it. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But then, as well, you're saying about creating your own heaven, you also have to create your own existence. So it's like you want to do something, there's only you that can. It's not only you that can make it happen, but it's your own. I can't think of the words, but your own person that makes you do what it is you need to do to get to where you want to be. Yeah, you can get influenced by other people around you, and they can help you. But overall, it's you that has to do it.
Yeah, always. Nothing's coming to save you. Anything out there is so that you can take it inside and motivate and figure out your way out. Everything out there so you can forge a key for your escape.
It's like, right, I need that, and that. Oh, look, there we go. Right, let's do it.
Don't get stuck too long. Advice, I'm not telling anybody what to do. Don't get too long staring at something that you were just meant to grab a piece of and turn around and walk away from, because it's a spectacle, because its job is to keep you from removing that place and taking it back to integration town. And that's your job, is to bring it to integration.
And as soon as you see it and you know that that's what you need, like you said, take it there and then. Don't hesitate. Don't go, oh, shall I? Just fucking grab it.
Yeah, fucking get it.
Grab it and run.
Yeah, it's a little piece that you need for your time machine back there that we're creating. So grab the piece and come back. We need you, instead of being over here going, do you know what they're doing in this country I've never even heard of and can't spell? Do you know what they're doing over here? The news is telling me to be scared, and so therefore I am. And guys, why are you not? I'm like, oh, because we're building this thing. I thought that you went out there to go get the part for it, but you got distracted, didn't you there, buddy? This is the part, right? It's ignore all that fucking noise, because that's, and it's getting louder. The job, it's never been louder. It's got to be loud because we're so fucking close and everything's changing so rapidly. I know you guys.
I love that. I love that, the way that you just explained it.
Yeah, but have you noticed as well, with everything that's going on around the world, when you switch off from it, even though it's still going on, it becomes less negative. It kind of like starts to sort itself out.
Is it going on if you're not looking? Tree falling in the woods. It's
become negative.
The observer, you know.
But you know, it's
sorry, Lewis.
Sorry,
what was that, Lewis?
Oh, I just said it doesn't become negative, like, because what's becoming negative? Nothing, because there's nothing there conceptually.
Yeah.
You animate this bitch, man. Every stitch of it. I really do. I'm seeing this more and more and more. And the more I oblige and create, the more I'm seeing my life turn out the way that I want. And I have no clue what's going on in the world. I do know what's going on where I'm at, because that's what I have control over. That's what I can manage. And that's what I'm learning and growing from. I don't need that shit out there to be loud to me anymore.
I've heard what's going on. Sorry, I'll just be real quick. I've heard what's going on, and I not acknowledge, but understand what's happening. But I then concentrate on what I need to do, and that kind of counteracts all the stuff that is non-important.
Andy, what word did you just use?
Non-important.
No.
In the stand. I said in the stand.
Hey, oh, you get a Howard Dean.
And then I do what I need, I want and need to do for me, myself, and just go with that, and it works.
Yeah, it's not a question of ignoring or denying, because that's what some people say, oh, you're denying what's going on. It's a question of what you want to do with whatever you're seeing on the screen or hearing or whatever. It's what you choose to do with it.
Yeah.
Observe, don't absorb. And if at all costs, don't observe. Like, you don't have to, like, you get to choose that shit.
No.
You know, you don't have to.
Yeah.
The thing Mark Twain about the newspaper, he said, those who read the newspaper are misinformed. Those who don't read the newspaper are uninformed. Well, I'm uninformed about a lie. I'm not being lied to constantly, so that I'm perception management. Therefore, my energy is off the table. It's being allocated to shit we're building. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Have you noticed, though, the more and more stuff that comes out from wherever, you can depict what is a lie to what is fact. Straight as soon as you open the mouth, it's like,
I stopped listening to it 10 years ago.
It's straight away, it's a lie. It's like, please just shut up.
Why listen to it? Not even please shut up, just because it's you to turn away. It's still going to squawk at you if you are sitting there looking at it, because you're filling it with your attention. You're animating the character in front of you because you're looking at it. Observer effect, right?
Yeah, but
that's why I said it totally depends what you want to do with it. You can kind of allow it to make a noise around you and just go, yeah, okay, and you just get on with what you're doing. It's not denying.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with the news? You listen to the news. What are you going to do with it now? Are you going to ignore it? Are you going to let it rule your life and be fearful?
No.
Are you going to tell people and spend your life going, look at the news there, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with it?
Just
laugh
it
it
off in your life.
And in 2020, in 2020, a lot of people who sat in front of the news are some of the people who actually felt the worst. Those of us who took no notice of it were fine.
And did you know that
incredible amount of growth in 2020?
Yeah.
Sorry,
people that heard about COVID got it. Did you guys hear about that? Only the people that heard about it got it? That's weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
well,
That's
it
the only
was
people who were testing for it.
because there was nothing to test for. There's nothing real. There's nothing. It was a nothing. It was a complete and utter psyop. It was a fear tactic. It was fear. There is no It was a nothing.
Well,
There was nothing real in terms
Yeah.
of illness, but many people did become ill.
It was a
And
ghost
mainly
manifestation.
It was a ghost fart. It was a real ghost fart.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And the people who believed it actually
Well, that was why it had no symptoms as well, which is one of the most hilarious things ever.
There you go. There's a ghost start fire. But it's like when I was at the hospital last week to go and meet George, and the doctor said to him he had COVID, and then George was questioning because he's 70, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, it's just like a cold now. No one dies from it anymore." And blah 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 blah. He goes, "It's not even as bad as flu." So
yeah, almost
I
like
said the word, but it
believe.
don't matter.
Fire Spirit said, what if it's not a lie, but you lack the understanding to see it's the truth?
Fire Spirit, I'm going to tell you to go to Sonic and get their vanilla Dr. Pepper, my friend. Light ice or easy ice. You'll get more of the beverage. And that is a game changer. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's
what if
a lie.
I was going to say, yeah, but what if what's not a lie?
Yeah, this is the question, right, Don? Because I mean, the symptoms can be mimicked in electromagnetic pulses, which 5G offered. They offered you a fuckload of health symptoms that mimic what they told you to be experiencing without the boost in cellular technology. So it's almost interesting. Again, the cell technology was for your tissues or your cells rather than for your actual phone. And so the lie is that it was something that could hurt you in virology, but virology itself is a lie. No viruses have ever been found, which is fascinating when you really look into it.
Wait, no viruses have ever been found?
Ever.
No such thing as a virus in the way that it's been described. Absolutely not. No such thing.
Everybody believes it. It's a tulpa.
You get a condition of symptoms.
You have symptoms, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not denying symptoms, but there's nothing to do with any microbe. Well, I mean, viruses aren't even microbes. They're just they've never been proven to be anything other than artifacts of the cell culture experiments.
Oh, not even real.
Never been seen in nature, never been found in nature, never been found. And again, if you want to really look at it, the word virus comes from the Latin for poison anyway, and that's a lot nearer to what it's just they've been hijacking the language and making people scared of invisible things, and there are no invisible things. Not if you're using the word virus. There are bacteria, they are real. But they've never been proven to cause disease either.
No, but
symptoms are just your body fighting, isn't it? It's not the thing having an effect on you. It's your body reaction to whatever they say it is.
Well, it's your body's natural healing processes. I mean, a simple thing is, if you eat something that's rotten, your body's going to say, I don't like that, and eject it, whether it's sort of, upwards or downwards, it'll come out, because actually the body is self-healing. It's the body that heals itself. Yeah. And the body is far more intelligent. And that's the other thing, of course. It's a whole psyop saying, oh, you need, the medical system, you need us, because that keeps us dependent on them. But the body heals itself. The body's amazing. It's just we've been taught to outsource our health, and
it's like
it's all from us. Take responsibility. It's all from us.
It's like if you get a cut or a bite and it goes red and inflamed around it, people think, oh, it's poison. It's not. That redness is your body fighting the infection and pushing it out through your skin.
No infection. The body is the redness.
It's healing.
Absolutely right.
It's the healing.
It's healing. Yeah, it's
healing
inflammation.
The tissue,
absolutely, it's inflammation. You're absolutely right. It's the blood, increased blood flow, because the blood's got the healing, whatever it is, and it's a normal process.
And
it's not a bad thing.
Shouldn't take ibuprofen. No, shouldn't take anti-inflammatories because it's going against what your body's trying to do.
Yeah, it's stopping your body doing what it does naturally. That's exactly 100%.
It's programmed to run to comfort, and that's why alcohol works, and that's why, because then it gives you comfort from feeling the things that would allow you to move forward and actually grow and ask yourself the hard questions, right? All of these things are to seek comfort. Symptom minimization is the medical industry's job. It's symptom minimization as well as just killing you a lot slower. That's their thing, creating customers, right? So they want to get rid of pain or mimic symptoms, but not let your body heal in the proper way, and then allow you to be dependent on them. And it's this just circle jerk. And once you see it, you're out of it. I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to a doctor or hospital or anything. We live out in the country. Shit happens all the time, and I'm perfectly fine. My body heals great because I know it does, and I trust that. And it would never let me down because it doesn't. And I just trust this. Real quick, I want to offer something to Fire Spirit. COVID hastened my stepfather's death, by the way, from PC. What's PC? First of all, and second of all, that sucks that you don't have vanilla in the UK. Add a little bit of vanilla, maybe. I don't know how to make a ghetto version of that, but either way, Sonic. Whenever you come to this,
now the dirty sodas.
No, vanilla Dr. Pepper from Sonic. Oh,
yeah, but they have the dirty sodas with like vanilla and cream.
They have dirty sodas. Okay, there you go.
Oh, we get Coca-Cola with vanilla, mango,
not the same.
peach.
No, not the same. It's just not.
That's as good as it gets.
So, COVID hastened my father. Yes, I do not disagree with you because it was a mental exercise. If you feel and think anything, you are correct. The book Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. I've got it just out of reach over there, but he lays this out in a brilliant fashion. Dawn does it wonderfully in her book as well. The nocebo placebos are the way to go. And this is why it's so important to allocate energy. If you're listening to someone tell you what's wrong with you, your body is now taking all that on and deciding that that is true and then making it so. That is its job. Again, these things whisper in your ear for you to create the situation. It absolutely hastened your stepfather's death because he believed in it so much. And everyone around him added to it by agreeing that that was the case and believed in it so much. No one's at fault here, okay? Everyone was doing the best they could with the information they had at the time. I've been in this game since 2001, so I saw this shit coming from a mile away. A lot of people, 2020 was their wake up, and a lot of people took the first shot, and that was their wake up. There's nothing wrong. No one's doing this wrong, and there are zero fingers to point in any direction. It's when you come across things like this and don't at least follow it through to the psychological component and leave it at what the realm tells you it is where we want to encourage perhaps further integration of thought. And within that, you see that your mind controls this whole bitch. And the more that you also, and if you want to prove this, take a great idea, you've got it, and share it. And that is the quickest way for your idea to die. Because all the people in your life that don't want anything to do with your success will absolutely put bad voodoo on your dream, and it will crumble no matter how much you believe in it. Stop sharing your shit. There's 2 rules I'm applying by right now. Don't complain. Don't explain. Don't tell people what you're fucking doing. They'll find out when it comes out. And don't complain about what's going on because that perpetuates its existence in your experience. I'm just to a big part of this. It's all fucking mind games, guys. This whole place. And Don, you're right about it being poison. Because then if you think of Latin roots of things, if you guys really want to see something look at the Latin root. There's a guy that's been taking these AstraZenecas and all these type of words, and he puts it and translates. And if you break up the words into certain phrasings, it means to die slowly or horrible death. All these pills that people are putting in, they're casting spells with the sigil of to die slowly or to die quickly on it. Okay, so it's being presented and nothing's hidden from you guys. It's just disguised a little bit. It encourages better questions, and this is really what it's all about.
I was going to say that's the placebo nocebo is not in What Really Makes You Ill, but it is something I've been writing a lot more about in the last few years on my Substack. And PC's prostate cancer. And again, cancer is something that is, again, totally misunderstood. That is, to some extent in the book, and I've again writing about that, that's very much a psychological thing. Quite often there are emotional, psychological trauma kind of aspects to it, and it's not physical. It's not something that you get. It's something that develops within the body, often over lengths of periods of time. It can also be the mental emotional side, because people can say, oh, it runs in the family, so therefore you grow up with a fear of something that might happen and you can manifest it. And if you don't, I mean, to say this side of it, the placebo nocebo, but I mean there's plenty of evidence that people can manifest even things like cancer in their body. It really can be, and at the same time they can clear it from their own bodies. And there's again, this is something I've been talking about and writing about for some time, because this is where we take the power back, by recognizing that we're creating our experiences. What we do with it obviously are our choices, depending on what we want to learn from it. And certainly with respect to health, that's why the 2020 was such a big thing. At the same time, it was a huge opportunity and really a huge gift in many ways, because it was so big to get lots of people to really be able to see it differently and to start thinking differently again for health, because that's the starting point. And then so many people have connected the dots and then seen how it all affects all the other systems, see it, and then start seeing the bigger picture, and then say, okay, right, well, we need to work out different ways of living. And I'm not denying that people have symptoms, people have conditions, people have health problems. I'm not denying that at all. It's a question of what we do with that, what that means to them, what that means to us. And it could be something very different for us than for them, because each one of us, we're all on our own journey. And it's really difficult when you want to help somebody and they don't want to know, but you can't make somebody. So you can say, here's the information, have a look at it and do what you choose, because making people make their own choices. And again, it's, if you're doing something for somebody, then you're denying them the opportunity to learn through that experience. It's a delicate balance quite often.
Quickly, I've got two things. The first one is, if you don't buy into it, then it doesn't happen. These people I know that were totally against the 2020, not once was they ill, nothing happened, nothing, them, the family, everything was just normal every day. And the other thing, since start chatting with you guys and reading some of your book, I've not read all of it because it's just too big, I'll be there forever, but reading a lot of the stuff in there, and making sense to me of what it means.
Good.
I've not been ill. I used to suffer from my lumbar. I damaged my back and I was off work for nearly 2 years. It was that bad. I couldn't walk for the first 2-3 weeks, and I was shuffling around on my ass, quite literally. But now I don't have painkillers. It's just, there's nothing. I'm not going to say negative or bad, but everything's like how it should be. I'm finding that where I was getting aches and pains, I thought as I was getting older, like my knees were aching, my back's aching. It does still now and again, but I'd say it's dropped by about 90% compared to what it was 12 months ago.
That's good.
It's just, I don't take in what's being put out on news media.
Yeah, that's it.
And it works. Don't believe what you hear. Find out for yourself what's true and what's not.
Well, it's interesting the vernacular that you used, take in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I thought he was going to say something else. Right, sorry.
No.
Yeah, but it's like, just do what you feel you should be doing. Don't go with the mainstream, should we say? So I'm trying to choose my words because we have covered a lot of stuff that I don't think we should or should not said. But anyway, it is what it is. But it's like, if you don't buy into it, I found it doesn't affect you. And that's it. It's as simple as that. I've not got anything else. I just wanted to put that across because I've done it. I've experienced it. I've tried it out. Still doing it, but it works. I'm sure if it works for me, it's going to work for everyone else. That's it. That's all I've got.
Good enough.
So, yeah. Don't Don't let the lies take control of your life.
A place loves your face.
And that's what he says when we do voice notes or messages. That was your face, man.
Yep.
That's Dawn. She recorded that for me.
And that's coming from a place that loves your face.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. That's
Yes,
Thank you.
it
Yeah.
is.
Dawn
Yeah,
says
so-
it so sweetly.
I know.
I know.
It had to be her that said it. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a massive learning curve
Yep.
from going, I suppose, from everything you've learned from being a child up until the moment when you realize not everything is a lie, but a lot is fabricated. The moment you realize what's going on and then you dip backwards, a lot of it you can work out yourself. And then as you progress forward, you pick up as like, well, that's not, and that's not, and that's not, and that's not, and oh look, everything isn't. And it's just,
I think that's one of the traps, the idea that, you know, everything's a lie, because then nobody believes anything. And I think that's one of the places to be somewhat more discerning,
yes.
because that's one of my words, discerning, isn't it, Brandon? The it's because, you know, again, and that's it's all or it's nothing. Well, it's not. It's
not.
There are different places somewhere. There are some things. There's stuff to believe. Yeah, it's all weaved together, and it's a question of not being so black. You know, that's the thing. It's black and white.
Yeah.
There's either left or right. It's this or that. It's not. There
You've got a big grey area.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay in the grey and stay in the I don't know.
Yeah. Well, stay in the grey, but keep watching left and right and pick up what you need.
It could be quite possible that you're both right, and then it's a paradox at that point. And I'm curious what y'all think about this, because the only thing not true here, or the only thing true here that I have found, is my experience of this place. Okay, but I can also say at the same time that the things out there could have been untrue at any degree, or my experience of them could have been untrue, but having the experience is the truth. And that's really the only true you can rely on. Because even out there, the out there that we cast, all of it could be a lie, meaning that all of it could not be real at all. All of it could be not a biological anything. It could be that you're a brain in a vat somewhere being fed electrical signals, and that's existence. And so therefore the whole reality or anything you think you're experiencing could be a fabrication. The only thing that is true is that you're experiencing something. That's really honestly all you can say, right?
That sums up my whole thing about the paranormal. I don't know if it's ghosts. I don't know if it's after. I don't know what we're experiencing, but we're experiencing something.
Right? Yeah.
But what if, like, you have memories? Obviously, you have memories. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. You have memories of past things gone on, but some of the memories you can't recall. You don't. Someone can tell you about what's gone on. You have no recollection of it whatsoever. And I mean, on an everyday thing. I'm not talking like night outs and all that. And you just you don't remember going on that holiday. You don't remember visiting that person. So was that erased, or did it not ever happen?
Lewis just got done doing a 5-part Dark City series over on the Patreon. If you guys go to the Patreon, by the way, it's completely free. It's only hosted there, but it's all free. You guys just go into the collections, type in Cinematic Alchemist Lewis Snookes, and it'll pop up. He's got a bunch over there. So when you check that out, Lewis, what are your thoughts on memories based on that movie?
Too many thoughts.
What happened in that movie, if we want to set it up that way, with memories?
What memories happened in the movie?
Well, what happened with memories in that movie? How were they?
Oh, they were implanted into individuals' mind, and then because people have memories, they thought they were the person that they were, and they went along with the idea that they had an identity based on their memories.
So what if your memories were just implanted in you overnight, and your whole life, even this, is just, it's one big implant memory, and you're just playing the character right now?
Yes. This isn't happening
I want a
now.
better character.
No, this has already happened, and we're the memories rolling as we're sat in some giant tube.
Yeah, I've done that one too. Like it's you're in a past life regression right now. That's an interesting one where you're living your past life regression right now. You've already died, and that's a fun one.
Or
Like you're in
you
the
had
7 minutes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the 7 minutes of death, and you're reliving your life.
Oh, that means all of our farts are ghost farts. Good deal.
Yeah,
Bring it right back to that.
but is that why they smell of sulfur?
Yes, Lewis, dude, the Dark City. If you guys have not seen that movie, highly recommend this. It came out in '98, right before Matrix, in '99, and then we were off. And it's sort of touted as the pre-Matrix, and it's a fascinating movie. It really is.
Yeah.
And Lewis broke this down. I mean, it took 5 parts for him to do this present, and it's incredible. It could have gone longer. He definitely, I know, was finding more things and had more to say about it. But the way Lewis sees movies, he doesn't watch them, he sees them.
Yeah.
And all the symbolism and stuff. And that one's a fascinating one. But to that point, then all our memories could be implanted. We have no fucking clue.
Yeah, this hour and a half always goes so quick.
It's been an hour and a half. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, now we're 36.
Yeah, happy solstice, guys.
So fast.
We've got a hangout
yeah.
with Anna
Mhm.
Clint. If you guys want to join us, it's going to be very cool. Go sign up on Patreon. I'll get you the link. It's going to be banger. I'm going to do a toroid field activation. I don't even know what that is, but I'm excited about it.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I know.
Right, we are going to have to wrap this up because
Sadly.
I'm too hot, and yeah.
Yeah,
I
Andy's
hope
over
we
there like
don't get
mopping.
stuff. I'm soaking head to toe. These fans are doing nothing. So thank you everyone for coming on. Thank you everyone in the chat. I know it was only it's restricted to members only, but everyone can watch. And yeah, we're going to be doing a few more like this. That's members only chat. So if you do want to join in, then pay you £1.99 because that's the cheapest one that it is. Or you can pay all the way up to about, I think it's 30 quid a month. I don't know.
Yeah, that's literally less than a cup of coffee.
No, it's 2 coffees, 2 large coffees from Costa.
That's the maximum you let guys spend on you.
The minimum one is less than a cup of coffee.
$1.99. You
$1.99 for membership, but
can't
to get
get
a
a
large
coffee for that. I was
no,
gonna say
for
you
a
can't-
large coffee at Costa, it's £3.60. Costa's like Starbucks.
Ah.
Yeah, they're out of the coffee shops, by the way.
You could probably get one from like the gas station for $2 here.
No, not even here. No, not a chance.
Hey, shout out to folks in the chat too. OGG, Fire Spirit, Joanne, everybody.
Big Reds.
I didn't log in, so I'm not in the chat.
Oh,
but I
Baby with a Laser.
Baby with a Laser. What a great name.
Derek, Wood Riders DG. Who else? Joanne. Oh, you said Joanne.
Fire Spirits in there.
Drew.
Shout out.
Drew Hollins.
Woo Riders
Hollins.
DG.
Yeah, he's over in I think he's California.
Apologies, buddy. Smoke an extra one for me, Bubba. Drew Hollings there. Nickname is there.
Nickname.
Sober.
Yeah, somebody else.
Very good. Yeah, this has been cool.
Yeah,
And
so we're gonna
look forward to his presentation, man. I don't even know what he's gonna do, but it's a banger. I can already tell you. Everybody just saddle up, get ready. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, so we'll get that sorted for the next few weeks. We'll get a date sorted between us. Probably have to be a Friday, unless you want to wait till November. Lewis?
Sorry, mate. I was where the fair is.
All right, it's right.
Hide it right now.
We can get you on. We can get you on a Friday, in the next month or so, or you can wait until November to do a Wednesday. It's entirely up to you.
We'll do Friday, mate. We'll do Friday.
Cool. Excellent. Right. So that is it, my friends. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Og, nickname, for doing the moderating. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone not in the chat but still watching. Thank you, everyone that listens on Audible, Apple Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and everywhere else. So, yeah. Still hitting it on the podcast. So thank you, everyone. Anyone got anything to add before we wrap this up?
No, just thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Anytime. Yep.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Don. Thank you,
Guys,
Brandon.
always great chatting with you.
And we love your faces. There we go.
Love your
Yes.
faces.
definitely.
don't
Have your
ever
face.
forget that.
Love
Right.
your faces.
So, going to be back on Wednesday. Quickly, it's going to be Laurie Reinfeldt, one of the witnesses at Rendlesham back in 1980. So, we're going to be talking to her about what happened over that weekend or week.
Awesome.
So, yeah. That's
All
it.
right.
Have
You
a
Wednesday.
wonderful, wonderful weekend. Don't get too hot. Yeah, just get in a bucket of ice or something and just chill. Literally. That's it. Right. Gonna go. Take care. See you all Wednesday. Ta-ra.
Bye.